Morning guys, welcome to the channel, OGA Outdoors. I guess you can tell I'm here in wonderful winter wonderland of North Alabama. Got my short sleeves out and it's supposed to be 81 degrees today. Recently I changed the oil in all my vehicles because everything needed it, but I also needed some bar oil. Because about a year ago, I switched to running exclusively burnt motor oil in all my saws. So I was out, so it's time to make some more bar oil. I'm going to show you all that process today, but more than that, I'm going to discuss, I guess, the pros and cons. I've had tons of comments of how I'm going everything from destroy the chainsaw to destroy the planet. And I've also had a lot of positive feedback. So we're going to go into some of that and go through those comments. And I'm going to give you a little review of my saws and what I found out after running just exclusively bar oil for a year. But right now we're going to cut a few rounds and we'll talk about that other stuff later. Okay, so you saw me cutting the rounds there. I just finished up cutting with this saw. You can see I'm touching the bar, holding the bar. I just turned it off. It's warm, but it's not overly heated. You can see right here, there's oil running down the bar. I'm getting plenty of oil. See it on this side, right through here. So like I was saying, I've been doing this for a year. I'm running two saws, this CS 590, and then I got a Shindaiwa, it's a Shindaiwa 591. I got the bar off it on this one currently. I kind of swap my bars around. I've got a 24-inch bar that I keep on the 591 most of the time. But for the last year, and these two saws I've cut, I'm going to show you in a minute how much firewood I've cut with these two saws. And I haven't had any issues to speak of. I mean, I've got comments, people say, well, the first one is you're going to kill the environment. I mean, well, me sitting out here cutting, running through 10, 15 gallons of bar oil a year, not bar oil, but used motor oil I'm using for bar oil, I don't know, it may kill the planet in 100 years, I don't know, 200 years. I get a lot of comments about that. I get comments about it being a carcinogen, which causes cancer, but I'm not getting it all over me. It's just dripping off the bar. Might get a few drops on my shoes. I've gotten comments where you're breathing it and everything. Well, it's just spinning off the chain. It's not like I'm standing here in a fog breathing used motor oil. So I don't get that. I may die over in a year. I haven't so far. But I get a lot of positive feedback with people saying, well, yeah, they've done it their entire life. Granddaddy did it. Everybody did it. No issues. But like I say, let's go over and take a look at what wood I've cut with these two saws in the past year. So I've cut all these trees, limbed them and everything. That big stack of logs over there, I've had to cut some rounds off of those as well. And I've done many others, but I'll get up on here and maybe get a better vantage point. So here, I guess this is my version of drone footage, stand up on a pile of logs. That's all I got, but you can see right there, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks. I've stepped it off, and best I can tell, there's about 30 cord here. This is what I've cut since, I think I actually opened up this log yard or the wood yard here May time frame of last year. So I've cut all of that and more just using used motor oil. So here we are. I guess you could call this my steel. I got my used motor oil. I've got a funnel going into a jug with just gonna strain it through a t-shirt. That's all I'm gonna do. I said I started this about a year ago. My logic, I was wanting to save money. I went into my local Tractor Supply to buy some bar oil. It was gonna be north of $17 a gallon. I thought, you gotta be kidding me. I'm just lubricating a bar on a chainsaw. I mean, I got comments, people saying, well, you're gonna wear out your chain faster. It's getting old, it's not gonna wear out. I mean, I wear out chains, but that's from hitting metal objects, rocks, hitting things in the wood and then having to resharpen it. The teeth, the cutters, they wear out, but I've never had a chain to wear out from overheat or, lack of lubrication. Maybe I hadn't cut enough, but I haven't had an issue with that. So all I do is I'm gonna pour this in here and let it drain. All right, let's get to work on the first gallon. All I do is pour it in the funnel. I mean, it takes a little while. It would be quicker to go buy your bar oil, I guess, if you're there, but I'm not in any big hurry. I got plenty of time today. I'm not too thrilled about getting out there in the 80s plus degrees or 80 something degrees cutting firewood today. So it strains pretty slowly through the shirt. I'll just come back by every few minutes between doing other things, and I'll just fill the funnel back up and get a shot of this without spilling it everywhere. And there you've got it. Bar oil in the making. The excitement's killing me, I guess you can tell. My first jug of bar oil is almost ready. But this saw here, this is my other saw, the Shindaiwa, the 591. You can see on the bar the last time I used it. You can see the oil and the little sawdust or whatever there. I mean, this saw is not dirty. That was another complaint I got. It was going to just keep your saws filthy. I mean, I don't go through a labor of love of cleaning these things every time I use them. When they need maintenance, I'll wipe them off and blow off the inside, but I don't do anything extra. I mean, my shoes, I mean, they're not destroyed. I get a few drops of oil on my shoes, but go on. I can't tell any difference. I mean, if you're using regular bar oil, the store-bought stuff, you're still gonna get dirt and stuff. And I can't tell that the saw is any dirtier using the motor oil, burnt motor oil, as it was using the regular bar oil. I mean, the reason I did this was just to be cost effective. I had somebody even once, I can't remember where it was, they commented and said, oh, if I can't afford the appropriate fluids to go in my equipment, I'll do something else. Well, I can afford the appropriate fluids, but there's really no need. I mean, it's saving me money, and I mean, there's situations, I mean, a couple years, even if it's something catastrophic happens to this saw, especially at like $17 a gallon, I'm going to save enough money to even buy a new $300 or $400 saw if I have to. I don't think it will. It could, but and there's people out there with $1,000 plus chainsaws, or maybe even more. And you're like, yeah, I could avoid the warranty and all that. That's a different situation. My things are out of warranty, my saws, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to run it. It's more of an experiment. Like I told you earlier, I've heard of people doing it all my life. Heard of, telling stories about people, no issues. So I'm going to do it. Fine, if I mess up something, I'll get it fixed. If it's from the bar oil, it's shame on me. But I'm going to continue to do this, run the bar oil, and y'all can let me know what you think. I know there's going to be the haters, there's going to be people that like it, but one of the reasons I did this video was because people were asking me for an update because they knew it had been a year they watched the other video. I'll leave you a link at the end here to that video as well. I almost got my first jug ready, so I'm just going to grab another one and keep pouring. Hopefully I get about 6 gallons of bar oil out of this little mission. I even got, different varieties. Like this one here is 0W20. That's for, I guess, cold weather. I've got my summertime blend, my 15W40. I'm just kidding there, guys. I'm going to pick up whatever I got, pour it in the saw. I'm going to go cut firewood, enjoy myself, hopefully do it when the weather is suitable, what I like. But if you're still watching, you know what to do. Subscribe, all that good stuff. But I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm probably going to go eat lunch with my lovely wife. But like always, good Lord willing, I will catch you on the next video, and I hope y'all have a great week. Thanks. Here you are, batch number 1. And yes, I'm going to pour it in both my chainsaws. There's one. Overfilled that one. Let's go cut something.